Congratulations on your brand new Cricut machine. Hands down, my Cricut machine is the best investment when it comes to crafting. I'm Carly Hall, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get your machine out of the box. In this video, I'll walk you through the unboxing and the setup with your device or computer. So before we get started, make sure you have your machine, your device or computer, and a notepad because we're about to get this Cricut crash course underway. The Cricut Maker is the ultimate smart cutting machine. Let's start by opening this small box. Inside this box, you'll find your materials for your first project, a welcome book, a USB cable, your rotary blade, and a fine point pen. Under the machine, you'll find a light grip mat, a power cord, and a fabric grip mat. To begin, we're going to unwrap our machine. And remove all the plastic. Remove the foam holding the blade. And notice that the fine point blade is already installed. Before we plug our machine in, locate the device you'll be using. I'll be using this laptop. In the welcome book, you have step-by-step instructions on where to get started. To begin, head to this URL. Let's get started by selecting the machine you purchased. In our case, the Cricut Maker. If you're brand new to Team Cricut, create a Cricut ID. This is the account you will use to shop on Cricut.com and design your projects in Design Space. Make sure you write down your password and keep it in a safe place. Creating a Cricut ID and using Design Space is free. There are options to purchase images and fonts, but everything we cut during this class will be included. Once you've entered all your info, click Create Cricut ID. If you already have an account, log in now. If you do not have Cricut Design Space on your computer, you will be prompted to download Design Space. Cricut will walk you through the download process. Once the process is complete, click Done. Follow the on-screen prompts to plug in your USB cable to your computer. If your device does not have USB ports, don't worry. You can also pair the machine to your device using Bluetooth. Your machine will work using the USB cable or Bluetooth and does not require any additional accessories to make them wireless. That's already built in. Just ensure your computer or device has Bluetooth capabilities. I'll connect this machine using my USB cable. Using this cable, find the square end and plug it into the back of your machine. Then take the rectangular end and plug that into your computer, or in my case, this adapter. Next, take the power cable and plug that into your machine. And then take this end and plug it into a power outlet. Power on your machine and then click Continue. Your machine will auto-update its firmware. The firmware is the software inside your machine that will make it run. Cricut will occasionally update your machine's firmware to allow for new added machine features. After the firmware updates, if eligible, there will be a prompt for a free Cricut Access trial. Cricut Access is a monthly subscription that allows you to use 100,000 images and over 400 fonts. Let's skip that and move on to the practice project included in the box. We will follow the on-screen prompts to complete the project. Since the practice project does not allow for any customization, we will also do another project after, so make sure you stick around for that. This is your home screen. This is where you browse Ready to Make projects and start your own project. We're going to start by clicking on this Ready to Make project. Now you can see the project details. These are all the details about the project, and you can decide if it's the right fit for you. To make it, you're going to click the Make It button. This is your Prepare Mat screen. All your projects get automatically sorted by color onto each individual mat. Since this project only has one mat, click Continue. Set material. We're going to use the cardstock that came in our project materials, so let's click on medium cardstock. Next, we're going to load the pen. Open clamp A, then hold the clamp up while pushing the pen down until the arrow on the pen disappears. Close the clamp and then click Continue. Next, we're going to load the fine point blade. The blade comes pre-installed, but if you need to reinstall it, open clamp B, insert the fine point blade, and then close the clamp then click Continue. Now let's load our project materials onto the mat. Place the white cardstock on the mat, lining up against this top left-hand corner. Once your material's on the mat, load it into the machine by sliding your mat underneath these mat guides. While still holding on, press the load button. Press the flashing go button. Now we're going to unload the pen and mat. Click the Unload Load button, and then we'll unload the material off the mat. To remove the material without bending it, flip over your mat and then gently pull your material off the mat like this. And don't forget to take your pen out. Open the clamp and then cap your pen. Let's start assembling the card by folding the card in half using the little cut marks on the corners. I like to push my finger into the fold and gently smooth it out. Now we're going to put the inside liner into the card. So open your card, and then there's 3 little notches that we'll slide the paper into, just like this. There we go, we did it. Cricut also included this piece of fabric, so you also have the option to continue on with the on-screen tutorial. You'll learn about the canvas, you can add images to your canvas, and you can search images to find what you're looking for. For our project, you can search kite. This kite is perfect for our card, so we'll click this one. And then we'll insert that onto the canvas. Since we like the size and color of the kite just how it is, let's click Make It. All right, that mat looks good, so let's continue. Next, we'll set our material. Since we're using a cotton fabric, choose cotton. For this one, we will need a different tool, so we're going to load our rotary blade in clamp B. Start by unloading your fine point blade and removing that, and then you'll load your rotary blade in clamp B, just like this. Next, load your material onto your mat and then load it into the machine. Again, we'll place it in the upper left-hand corner and smooth it out. Then load your mat into your machine. Again, place it under the mat guides and click the load button. Once ready, press the flashing go button. Unload your mat, and then we'll peel away the excess fabric, and then we'll take our image off the mat. There we go. Easy as that. Using some glue or some glue dots, you can adhere your fabric to your card, but we're going to move on to our next project. You did it! Not only did you overcome the hardest obstacle of taking your machine out of the box, but we set it up and completed the practice project. But we're not done yet. I want to share with you my favorite beginner tips, so I picked up some supplies from Michael's, so let's get started. Here's what we'll need for this project: your machine, a light grip mat, a weeding tool, scraper, scissors or a paper trimmer, masking tape, premium permanent vinyl, transfer tape, and a tumbler. Back over on your device, navigate to Design Space, and then click on New Project. Since the practice projects were pre-designed for us, I want to show you how easy it is for you to design a project on your own. Locate the left toolbar and choose Text. Then type out your name. The default font is Cricut Sans and is free to cut. If you've opted in for the free access trial, anything that has the Access A is included for free. You can also cut your system fonts for free. I'm going to stick with Cricut Sans. I measured my tumbler and I need to cut my design to be 5 inches long. You have a couple of options to resize your image. You can grab on this handle and pull it out, or for more precise dimensions, you can come up to the top toolbar and type in the exact measurement you need. Since I'm using purple vinyl, I want you to get in the habit of changing your color to match your material. So with your name selected, come up to the top toolbar and choose this color swatch. And then find the color that closest matches your vinyl. Now we're ready to make it. Click Make It. The mat prepare screen looks great, so click Continue. Before we connect to our machine, I'm going to load my vinyl on my mat, and then we'll come back here. To begin, I have a couple of pro tips. To open your vinyl, take off the plastic cap, and then insert your fingers inside the vinyl and twist to tighten. This will allow you to easily slide out your vinyl. Next, we'll trim down our material. Before trimming down your material, make sure you know how big your image is. I'll need a piece about 6 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. Next, load your vinyl onto your mat in the upper left-hand corner with the colored side facing you. Now we're ready to load it into the machine. Your material will be set to whatever is set on your dial, so make sure to turn it to the correct setting. Since I'm using vinyl, I'm going to turn my dial to vinyl. You'll notice on your screen that it now shows material is set to vinyl. Next, load your tools and mat into your machine. Once again, place your mat under the guides, and then while still holding, click the load button. When the go button begins to flash, click to start. Once your machine has finished cutting, click the unload button. Now we're going to unload our vinyl from our mat. Flip over your mat and remove your vinyl just like this. Now it's time to weed. This is the first time that we've mentioned the word weeding, but weeding is the process of pulling away the negative space from our image. I love weeding, some people hate it. Using a sharp tool like the Cricut weeding tool, we're going to grab the corner of the image and peel it away. What's left behind is the image that you will be using for your project. Don't forget to weed the insides of any letters. There we go. Now it's time to transfer our image. When I first started crafting, I thought that you had to individually place each letter. Don't do that. There's a thing called transfer tape that we're going to apply to the top of the image and then transfer it onto our surface. Using a trimmed down piece of transfer tape, we're going to peel back the edge of the transfer tape, and I like to peel back my liner so just a little bit of sticky is revealed. Then starting at one end, we'll place it on the image and smooth it out. Then peel back the liner and cover the entire image. Using a scraper tool, you can burnish down the tape so that it adheres nicely to your vinyl. I also like to flip over and burnish the back, just like this. Before we apply the image to our cup, I'm going to trim it down to make the application process a little bit easier. Now it's ready to be transferred onto our tumbler. You have your transfer tape, your vinyl, and your liner is still on. With your liner still on, you're going to place it onto your cup. We'll hold it down with a piece of masking tape to transfer it. The masking tape will act as a hinge, so you can center your design and hold it in place. With your masking tape still on, peel back one side of your transfer tape. Ensure that the vinyl comes onto the transfer tape, leaving the liner behind. Using your pair of scissors, trim away the liner. Then, slowly push back your image onto the cup. Now that the transfer tape is on the cup, it should be held into place so you can remove your masking tape. Now peeling back the liner on the other side, you can remove it just like this. And then slowly push down the next side. There we go. Now you can burnish your image on using your finger or a scraper tool. For curved surfaces like this, I typically stick to just using my finger. Once your image is completely burnished, starting at one corner, peel away your transfer tape. If anything like that pops up, you can just slowly push it back down using your finger. There we go. If you notice any bubbles, smooth those out using your finger or a scraper tool, and enjoy your new tumbler. How easy was that? Do you feel like you want to add vinyl to everything now? Welcome to the club. I had such a good time walking through the basics of Cricut with you and can't wait to see what you make. Happy crafting!